Hello Leo, Leo Rising, and Leo Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope for November 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you out there, remember that these monthly horoscopes are meant to address the big, sweeping, long-term background energies of any given month, and that all aspects I talk about are ones that are pretty much going to be there for, at the minimum, 2 weeks. So if you're looking for more flavor of the week, short-term, angles that maybe only last for a few days or maybe even a few hours, I would highly recommend, though, you do check out your weekly astrological horoscopes. The weekly horoscopes have astrology for the first half exclusively, so there's something in it for everybody. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on with this month? Well, all month we've got Mars in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and community. And with Mars in the third house, Leo, you're going to be kind of in a situation where a lot of people are helping and also kind of getting a bit rough around the edges. We tend to see Mars bring in the helpful people this month, the allies. We're trying to build a team, build an army, build that strong support system when it comes to our friends, our networking group, our neighborhood community. But also at the same time, Mars will bring out competitors, it'll bring out rivals, and it may even bring out some scuffles with members of said community as well. Could be a month where perhaps there could be some tense conversations with a rival, or perhaps somebody you've come to see as a bit of an antagonist in your life. You will have plenty of support coming from extra people around you, and the important thing with Mars in the third house is to know when to leave something up to a member of your team, and not to kind of make it too personal. Self-identification with everything is what causes a lot of people to go cuckoo. But with Mars in the third house, we also tend to see, again, people actually making good on promises and proving their love and loyalty to you as well. And sometimes, rejecting an opportunity for somebody to prove that can also mean rejecting them. So we actually have more good than bad coming from this, but at the same time, there is some tension and some warnings to be, adhered to. On the 4th of the month, we've got a full moon in Taurus, in your 10th house of career, bringing a culminating energy to your career life, your upward mobility. This could spell an opportunity for a sudden improvement to the quality of life you have at the office. If you are looking to promote yourself, or perhaps actually transition into a role, or perhaps even into a job that actually has faster upward mobility, this is going to be the first 2 weeks of the month for you where you're going to be seeing a lot of those happen. This could indicate a transfer, this could indicate, again, possibly a fast track or some kind of leg up program that you find yourself landing in that actually does, make good on its own promise to you. The thing about the full moon, though, is that we're not incorporating it into our regular routine. This is something where we're kind of putting ourselves in unfamiliar territory and unfamiliar waters. However, again, the prospects, again, for promoting ourselves, giving ourselves that raise in stature and title at the office is going to be more likely if we decide to make this jump. And so it's definitely something for your consideration. On the 5th of the month, we have Mercury, planet of communications, haste, and speed, moving into your 5th house of love and romance, pleasure, and your relationships with your children. And remember that wherever Mercury goes, it behaves as an accelerant. And we could be seeing an acceleration of developments in this part of your chart all month, pretty much from the 5th all the way to the end of the month. And when we have Mercury in the 5th house, this does speed up developments in terms of milestones achieved in romantic affairs and in romantic relationships, especially around the two of you. This can also be a time where you are meeting multiple people at a time. For those of you who are single, usually Mercury will, kind of put us through a bit of a speed dating kind of scenario. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's all for naught. Mercury in the 5th can indicate an opportunity to get something started a bit quickly. Just be careful that it doesn't go too quickly this month. Of course, sometimes the faster we go, the faster it's over. And sometimes people go fast for all the wrong reasons. When it comes to communication in general here, though, we could be talking about repairing a line of communication with either a lover, a crush, or possibly one of our children, especially if things have become a bit strained, distracted, or quiet within recent weeks and months. We have an opportunity to actually get that back in ship shape. On the 7th, we've got Venus, planet of love and harmony, moving into Scorpio, into your 4th house of home and family. And Venus will be here for the duration of the month from the 7th. And with Venus in the 4th house, it's a lovely time for those of you who are looking to actually get money out of some kind of investment, something that you collect, something that you keep in your home or your domicile, or possibly even get money out of the home itself. Those of you who are looking to sell, Venus does benefit the seller if you're thinking about a time to put your home on the market, or you've just been waiting for a good luck opportunity when it comes to a home or a piece of property that you own that's already on the market. This is actually very auspicious to you. Venus in the 4th house can also be good news for love, especially for people who are ready to start mixing and mingling when it comes to your partner's family or your partner mingling with your family. You can actually expect things to be going quite well, and people may actually be deciding to start making those introductions after the 7th. On the 18th itself, we do actually have a new moon in the 4th house of home and family, which is great for those of you Leos out there who are house hunting right now. If you're looking for a new place to live, you're looking for a new place to sort of hang your hat, a new moon in the 4th house is always a wonderful opportunity, and some of you may be just kind of getting the urge, the itch to move in the last 2 weeks of the month, and you may actually be finding the right space to go or the right spot to land in. Even if you're going into it thinking you have more time, or maybe you're not in a rush, we may actually find that an opportunity to get this underway, even though we were taking our time, is coming sooner than later. On the 21st of the month, we've got the Sun moving into Sagittarius, into that 5th house of love and romance and relationships with your kids, and pleasure and all that kind of good stuff. And with the Sun going here, we're talking about bringing the fun in. We talk about getting more out of this area of our life and more out of the relationships that we have there. And also making sure that they are staying productive, staying enjoyable, staying, bringing a little bit more of that wholesome innocence or wholesome simplicity into these relationships, where maybe they could have gotten a bit complicated. Sometimes they do get complicated, especially when you do have situations where you're balancing kids and romance and friends and job. Sometimes they get complicated just because a person's going through a complicated period of their life, and sometimes those complications take precedent. Well, luckily, with the Sun going into this part of your chart from the 21st through the 3rd week of December, we're kind of seeing a little bit more enjoyment, a little bit more fun, I guess you could say, with the simple, or possibly, dare I say, even frivolous. And sometimes actually bringing a bit of that innocent in, putting that complicated drama stuff on the back burner for a little while, putting issues on the back burner is the way to actually bring a relationship closer. Not forever, but, in terms of, you don't want to put something on the back burner forever, but, give it a break. That's what you're being told to do with this energy this month. Sometimes we try to fight those battles, we try to have those things carry on for longer than we should in any given, day or week. The Sun coming in here is allowing us to get reacquainted with our kids, or again, reacquainted with even our lovers. On the 22nd of the month, we have the final aspect I'm going to be discussing, and that's Neptune, turning direct in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, and intimacy. And while Neptune is retrograde for almost the last 6 months, a lot of you have been uncovering secrets about, areas where maybe we're sharing income with other people, what's going on behind the scenes in our workspace, especially if we own our own business enterprise. You're learning a bit more about what's going on or kept under wraps in regards to money that is being handled for you by other people, or money that you are handling of other people's. And you're kind of getting an understanding about how all of these things tick. When Neptune's retrograde, sometimes it can make us a bit suspicious, and sometimes we get more information than we're meant to have. However, it's all in the interest of actually doing some improvements there. Now with Neptune retrograde, however, in the intimacy area, sometimes it can take a bit of the magic out of things. It can take some of the euphoria out. So we're really happy to see Neptune turning direct here, especially when it comes to romance and intimacy. But be very, very mindful, because again, it's always a double-edged sword with with an outer planet. We don't want to get into a situation where maybe as a couple, or even as a single person, we, develop a habit or a dependency on a certain type of intimate communication in order to feel loved. That's kind of a lesson of Pisces traveling through this part of your chart. Luckily though, Pisces does also seem to be bringing a bit more magic and fantasy even into your workspace, and even into, again, any kind of creative enterprises or any creative projects or self-employment opportunities that you may have actually been falling out of love with. And you may be getting that inspiration reignited in the last week of this month, and this energy is going to be with us for a long time, so don't think it's going anywhere fast. So that is your horoscope, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.